Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone had a really fantastic and happy New Year's, and I just want to start off by saying thank you to you all. It really means a lot to me, everyone that watches and comments on my videos, so just wanted to start out by saying thank you so much for being here and for continuing to be here and support me, because I really do love sharing things with you all and I just want to continue to be able to do that. So in this video, I'm sure you've seen a lot of these on the internet because they are quite popular, but I also think they're very important. So this video, I'm going to cover some of my favorite and then some of my least favorite purchases from 2024. And I think this is such an important exercise to do, whether you have a YouTube channel or you don't, you're just a civilian. I think it's very important to do this and really assess your wardrobe and figure out what's working well for you so that you can make better purchases in the future. So I do this a lot. I've started to try to do this actually like twice a year, so for summer and spring clothes, because if you're not familiar with my channel, the way that I set up my wardrobe is I have my fall and winter clothes, and then when the seasons change, I switch them out for spring and summer because I don't have enough room in my New York closet for everything. So I actually have a storage unit where I swap everything out in order to fit everything in here, which I do have videos of me cleaning it out and organizing it. I'll leave those linked above and below if you want to check those out. But in some of those videos, you get insight into things that I've learned in the past, like comfort is important, fabric choice, which is kind of related to comfort, is also important to me. Things like color and like going for more classic silhouettes, modern silhouettes, as opposed to more trendy kind of pieces. I've just learned quite a few things over the years. Not to say that I don't have repeated mistakes, because you will see some of that in this video. But in general, I find that it's making me better and better and better at understanding my style and my needs and making better purchases. So I will try to talk through all of those intricate details. Again, I've combed through every single one of my videos for the year, and I realized this video would be probably 2 hours long if I covered everything for the year. So I'm gonna really focus on the clothes that are for fall and for winter, just because, like, obviously that's sort of the season that we're in, and I think when I do another wardrobe clear out in the summertime, I will include some of those clothes there. So yeah, just for the sake of shortness, I'm really going to be focusing on those fall winter items. A little bit of spring sneaks in there, but for the most part, we're going to keep it pretty narrowed in. And just because I don't mention something doesn't mean that I don't love it. It's just that, again, I had so many fantastic things that I was able to pick up this year that it was really, really, really hard to narrow it down. And I wanted to kind of focus on things that just bring me a lot of joy every single time that I wear them and that I grab for on a regular basis. Or on the flip side, that I've never worn or have only worn maybe once or twice and haven't really, it hasn't lived up to the expectations that I had for it when I first purchased it. So this is kind of the lens that I'm working through. So I hope you all enjoy this. I'm going to start with my largest categories, which are knitwear and then jeans and trousers, because you guys know I love both of those things. I have many videos on jeans and on knitwear and whatnot. So we'll get into that. Then we'll get into tops, dresses, as well as some shoes and jewelry and other accessories like that. So while I have an extensive knitwear collection, and I certainly didn't need to add to any of it this year, I did pick up some really incredible pieces that honestly became some of my favorite of all time. So one of those is this gorgeous Mongolian cashmere sweater from Quince. This is around $99, I believe, and I have it in gray as well as black. The crew neck version is my absolute favorite. It's just a very classic look. I love how thick it is. And I also got it in the V-neck version as well, which I do like. And I have it in brown and black. So a lot of versatile colors. This is really just a go-to for me. It's very classic. It's something that I'll throw on over pajamas in the morning. I will wear it when I'm working. I will wear it always on trips. I pack it as just a staple. And yeah, this has just been a go-to sweater of mine. I'm not exaggerating when I say I probably wear this sweater 3 times a week. No joke. So one of my most worn pieces of this video and definitely one of my best purchases of 2024. Another key staple in my wardrobe, which was a bit of a wild card, was actually this top from also Quince. This is not cashmere, this is a synthetic knit. And I kind of think that's why I grab for it a fair amount, because when I don't want something that's as delicate as cashmere, this really fits the bill and it's all about the cut for me. So this replaced a sweater that I had from Zara, obviously was not as good of quality, and also had ribbing, which I wasn't quite as much of a fan of. This has a very smooth knit to it, so just very smooth silhouette in general, and I love the mock neck. I also love where it falls on the hips. I think it's a very flattering cut overall and very easy to style. So I think that's why I've also grabbed for this piece from Quince over and over and over again this year. This sweater is something that I purchased at the very beginning of 2024, and this was another surprise for me. I picked this out and I had no idea what this would do, that it would start this obsession with this taupe color, but I ended up wearing this almost, I would say, as much as this sweater. Like, this was more so in the beginning of the year when I first got it, but I adore this sweater. This is from the H&M Premium collection. This is, again, a cashmere sweater, but there's something about this taupe color. It goes really, really well with my Savette bag. It goes really well with my taupe suede Birkenstocks. So I just never knew that this was a color that I wanted to introduce into my life, but it is. I adore this color. And the other crazy thing is there aren't many other taupe cashmere sweaters in this particular color that I've been able to find. Trust me, I try to link a similar one for you guys because this is long gone and long sold out. Every single time I feature it in as like a what I'm styling things with video, and there just aren't a lot of similar sweaters out there. So it really is such a unique piece and I absolutely love it. So yeah, that was definitely another piece of knitwear that was very, very well worn for sure. Now, I'm gonna get into the final piece of knitwear that I adored, that I swear all of these sound like surprises, but normally I have a pretty good idea of when I'm gonna be obsessed with something, and a lot of the like favorites, especially the trousers that I'm gonna share, like I knew when I bought them and I knew when I tried them on how special they were. But a lot of these, weirdly, with the knitwear, I just wasn't expecting to love as much as I did, and maybe that's because it was like a new type of sweater, like for example, the oversized one from Quince that I hadn't worn that much before, and I didn't really know how thick and luxurious the knit was until I got it. Or the color, for example, that sort of neutral taupe color, I didn't understand, sort of like brown, how much that would be something that I wanted to wear. And this one, stop waffling on, this one from Dish was, again, another wild card. In fact, I was purchasing other things from Dish, saw this, thought it was, I really loved this sort of natural color and the texture of this knitted vest. I just didn't have anything like it. I also loved the boxiness of it. It's like a very square cut, which makes it, because it's a little oversized, I think it makes it a little more modern looking instead of prissy like a cardigan. And I think that's what really drew me to it. And that's also why I love wearing this. It's a really great transitional piece to wear. My favorite thing to pair it with are my oversized black COS trousers. I just love this combination. It's a great outfit to wear, you know, to work, whenever, very casual, looks super cute with my Birkenstocks. It's just like a nice, like looks nice, but is still interesting enough. And so yeah, I've gotten so much wear out of this, way more than I ever thought I would. I honestly wasn't even like that enthused by the piece, and then I got it and I wore it so much, especially transitioning from springtime and summer into fall. It was just one of those really great pieces to sort of like bridge the gaps. And again, I love the cut of it and the knit of it, and it just ended up being really great. And that was from Dish. The funny thing is on the flip side, which is another theme you'll notice in this video, a lot of the brands and things that I love, I have things that haven't worked out well from the exact same brands. So I think that's a really great lesson in itself, is that just because you buy something from a particular brand, I think I talked about this in my like where I shop video, just because you buy something from a brand that you love doesn't mean that everything you get from that brand you're going to love. There's certainly a lot of variability, and you still have to really comb through things with a critical eye when you're shopping. Because here, for example, this knit piece has not worked out well for me. And it's not that there's anything inherently wrong with this. This is a beautiful charcoal gray ribbed kind of cardigan from Dish. I think what killed me for this one is the cut. I think that it's a little too prim and proper in that it's more tight fitting. And so, yes, I think it looks good again with like an oversized black trouser or something. But for me, I just haven't reached for it enough. I don't know why exactly. I tend to just reach for other cardigans more. In fact, the cardigan in general is a bit of a wild card shape for me. It was something that I wasn't really grabbing for much in general. And then I kind of became obsessed with them and I wore them a lot. And then I sort of backed off from it a little bit. But in general, I just think that there's something about this cardigan. It's like it's not special enough or something. Like I have this cardigan that's burgundy that I really love that I've been wearing a lot. It just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I need to think on this more. And maybe it's just because I have so many other things that are kind of similar to this that I would rather, for example, grab for this Quince, you know, charcoal gray oversized sweater. I don't know, but that's how I feel. And yeah, unfortunately, I've only worn it a couple of times, and I don't know. Another one, which to be honest, I knew better at the time. In fact, I was going to return it, and then I ended up watching the video back where I purchased this and being like, oh, I don't know, I think it looks really good. And I loved how it looked with my all cream mango skirt. And I got into an old trap, which I'm pretty good about, but I got into the trap again of trying to shop for like an event or a specific thing. And in my head, I was thinking, oh, like Christmas Eve or like a Christmas celebration, but that's such an awful way to shop because then you have an item that's really only meant for like one thing, which means you're only going to wear it 1 or 2 times at best. And I just don't really value pieces like that in my wardrobe anymore. I think when I was like in my 20s and stuff, I loved doing that because it was like have a look, show up to an event, make a big deal out of it or whatever. And now I'm just here for versatility, you know, being able to repeat things, mix and match, comfort. I'm just in a very different stage from a fashion perspective in my life. And maybe that's just being in your 30s, but in general, I knew this was a mistake. Again, it's a very cool top, but it's almost too cool where it's not something I would wear on a regular basis. And therefore I have worn it 1 time thus far. And I don't know when I'm going to wear it again. And it actually is quite bulky and takes up quite a bit of room in my closet, which I also should have considered given that I do have such a small closet. So yeah, that was a knitwear fail. So similar to knitwear, I have a huge love of jeans, pants, trousers, bottoms, whatever you want to call them, just because I find they're so easy to mix and match. They're easy to dress up and dress down. I just find them way more versatile than dresses and more comfortable. I know some people are the total opposite. They never wear jeans. They only like dresses, but that is not me for whatever reason. So yes, let me share. First, I'll start with jeans. So I have purchased quite a few pairs of jeans. Jeans are just kind of, doesn't every woman go through this? I'm like, do I need any more jeans? No, but like every time you buy a good pair of jeans, it just like does something to your soul. You know what I mean? It feels so good. And this was definitely my favorite pair of jeans that I've purchased this year, which makes me happy because I bought them in not 1, but 2 colors. I won't go into too much detail because I do have these jeans in multiple colors. Sorry, I said I won't go into too much detail because I have a whole video about these jeans. These are my Maison Margiela jeans, and again, just because something's expensive or designer obviously doesn't mean that it's going to be great. But when I tried these jeans on for the first time, I knew there was something so special about them. The way they're cut, the way they fall on the body, they are just designed so thoughtfully. The quality is so high. They are just the perfect jean. They are effortlessly cool, it's very obvious that they're Margiela because of the signature, you know, stitching and the signature cuts and whatnot, but it's not like designer screaming in your face designer. It's more like if you know, you know kind of thing, which is my fave. So yeah, I've just found these jeans to be phenomenal. I love, again, that you can wear them with heels, you can wear them with flats. I did hem them, I think about 1.5 inches just to make them a little bit shorter so I could wear them more with flats, but I love that barrel architectural shape, and they're just like the best jeans, which makes me happy because they were really, really expensive. So anytime I invest in something, if I can get a lot of wear out of them, it makes me really happy. Of course, anyone would be. On the flip side, this is another favorite jean of mine, and this is actually a newer item in my wardrobe. So these jeans are from Mango, and they are ones that I purchased recently in the last Mango sale. So I actually got these jeans for like $40 or something, which is crazy. I think they're normally $80, which is still a good price point for a good quality denim. And I do think this is, as I'm looking at them, I'm like, wait, I just bought them and these like seams are already like coming undone. Interesting. So maybe not the highest quality, let's be honest, but you see the little straggles there, but they look great. And I will say, I bought these jeans and I've already worn them. I bought them about 3 weeks ago and I've probably already worn them at least 10 times. In fact, I wear these, this is gross, but I wear these so much that I keep putting them in the dirty clothes and then I keep just pulling them out of the dirty clothes to wear them again because I'm like, oh shoot, like it would look great with this outfit. And then yeah, so I really love these jeans and they come in multiple washes, but this is a wash that Mango does a lot. I think it's more of a dark gray. They call it black denim, but I don't really think it's that black, but I love that it's a dark gray. And because black and dark gray denim is really my favorite, I think it pairs well with everything in my wardrobe, obviously all the other black and gray in my wardrobe, but I think it also just makes for a more streamlined look on the body. And I'm in New York, so that kind of makes sense for me here. But yeah, I adore these jeans. And I love that they're also very accessible and in a really great price point. And again, they're that fun barrel shape with a little bit of a crop, which I appreciate. And yeah, they just fit well. I think they look cool. They look way more expensive than they are, personally. The next items are, I would say, a bit of a khaki. And I've, again, talked about all of these quite a few times in many other videos, but these are I think they were called like the deconstructed barrel pant or something from COS. And again, they're that gorgeous barrel shape that's become so popular. And I know it's very trendy, but I really love it. I think it's very flattering on the body. I think it looks well, it photographs well, which is nice. And I just love this cotton. It's such a soft material. And I love the dark chocolate brown color. It really filled this void in my closet that I didn't know that I had, where, you know, obviously I have gray, I have black, I have lighter denim, but this brown and the fact that it's like almost of a khaki type pant, it looks so great with like other black items or navy or, you know, other camels and stuff. It's just a really nice neutral piece. And I tend to always grab for them when I want to look effortless and I want to look cool. I usually pair them with like my black Birkenstocks, for example, and a belt. And I just adore them. They are great. They're one of my favorite pairs of pants. This next pant is, again, not a jean or a trouser. These are actually corduroys. And I've purchased quite a few pairs of corduroys over the past year, and I returned most of them because most of them, to be perfectly honest, were not this like thick and high quality. And these are just like the perfect classic cut. They're a boot cut that has like a tiny bit of crop, and I got them in a size 2, which turned out to be like a little bit baggier. There's like a little bit of stretch in them, so they're super, super, super comfortable. I have them in black and brown. So wearing this, again, with my Birkenstocks and an oversized cashmere sweater, while it might not be the most interesting outfit, it's definitely my most worn outfit because it's just so freakishly comfortable and streamlined. And I still think I look cool when I wear it, even though it's casual and very basic, but can't go wrong with like a classic bootcut corduroy. And those are my favorites for sure. And then the final pant is probably my favorite pant that I've purchased this year. And again, the thing I've probably worn the most in terms of trousers. And it's no surprise that it's these COS trousers, because you guys know I love COS trousers more than anything. In fact, I have this one pair, which I will link below. It's like a wide leg pair that they come out with again every year, which I'm so thankful for. And it comes in multiple colors, but I got the cropped version this year. This is like, again, noticing a theme, a cropped barrel pant, shocker. And I adore these pants. I love it that it's a little more cropped, so I can wear them with heels or with ballet flats or with Birkenstocks. Like, I can pretty much wear any shoe with these and it looks great. And I just love, yeah, dressing these up, dressing these down. These are like the perfect pant for just a great base layer for your wardrobe. So if you're looking to build out like an investment wardrobe, a capsule wardrobe, this should certainly be at the base of your wardrobe. I love, love, love these pants. And if anything, I think they're actually more wearable than the longer version that I've had for many years now. So yeah, if you bought one thing from this video, I think these trousers would probably be the thing that I would recommend the most, because they're just so well done. The one pair of pants that did not go well for me this year were these silk trousers from Quince, which, again, there's nothing inherently wrong with them. I loved this idea of them, which was to wear them to the airport and be super comfortable and be wearing like silk and cashmere. And then when I did it in real life, they were just too much like pajama pants. I truly felt like I was wearing pajama pants at the airport, which I did not love. I did not feel put together. I felt sloppy. And so now I've actually just started wearing these as pajama pants because that's what they look like. I will wear them at home, honestly, instead of like a sweatpant. I'm sorry, my face is itching. I will wear them at home, and I've been trying to swap them out. So if I'm, putting on a sweatpant or something, I'm like, these are a little nicer looking. I can totally wear these. So I wouldn't say that they're wasted and I'm not going to get rid of them, because I do wear them at home quite a bit, especially because I work from home, and they look great with like a button-up shirt and then just like casual pants on the bottom. And obviously I don't mind, going down to the mailroom and stuff in these, but overall, they just didn't live up to sort of that vision I had of wearing them out and about and being like super comfortable, but them still looking sophisticated. I just don't think they look that sophisticated in person, unfortunately. So I will say that was not a purchase that lived up to my expectation for trousers. Now, let's get into tops. And again, there weren't I think because I invested a lot in button-up shirts the year before in 2023, I purchased a lot of t-shirts from COS, because one of my goals was to wear more fitted t-shirts and not have so many oversized t-shirts. So I definitely had a lot of stuff like that. So I didn't really buy a lot of shirts, but the ones that I did buy, unfortunately, have ended up in my kind of like bad purchases of 2024. So I'm going to start with this one, which I got during one of the COS sales. And I should have been honest with myself when I tried this on, because I knew when I tried it on, I was like, it's kind of funky, but like I sort of convinced myself that I liked the funky look of it. But overall, the proportions of this t-shirt are just bizarre. While I love a long sleeve, I think the sleeves are just too long, and it makes for it to be too sloppy and too oversized, and it doesn't look good like tucked into things like I would want to wear it, but it's also not oversized enough to wear kind of baggy on its own. It's just been really challenging to style, which makes me sad, because I love COS t-shirts, and usually I would highly recommend a COS t-shirt because they're fantastic, but this one I'm just having trouble with because of the proportions. And that's honestly probably why it was on sale, but yeah, it just wasn't working well for me, unfortunately. So that is in my no-go pile. The next one is something that, I mean, if I show you, you're gonna laugh at me because you'd be like, duh. Like, if you know my style at all. This is a beautiful print. So this is a flannel shirt from LL Bean, and it is a black watch pattern. And I purchased this because I, again, had this vision of myself over the summer when I was spending a lot of time in Vermont of having something for hiking, you know, needing to be a little warmer in the mountains. I think this was just like my mountain girl fantasy. And all of my clothes are perfectly acceptable to wear in the mountains. I can wear my Skims boyfriend long sleeve shirts and a black sweatshirt hiking, and no one is gonna care. I did not need to be cosplaying as Vermont Sally, you know what I mean? But I guess I was just excited about it and I bought it from LL Bean and I regret it because I don't need it. And it's such a nice, well-made shirt and it's high quality, but it's just not me. And like, I know that you can tell that by looking at it, but we all get trapped into trying to like fulfill these fantasies we have in our minds, I feel like, especially when it comes to fashion. And I'm not perfect. It happens to me too, even when I know what's going on. But anyway, that was a fail for me. So the final top is from a brand that I really love, and actually is going to be a good segue into the dresses because I'm going to feature one of their dresses as one of my best purchases for 2024. So it's ironic that this shirt is one of my worst purchases, but in my mind, I thought this would look so cool and modern with this like turned up collar. It's also a beautifully made button-up shirt. In fact, it looks so good with my COS little crop trousers, and I think there's a lot of potential there, but I really have to layer stuff over it, which almost hides it, which really defeats the purpose of having it. And it's the collar that's problematic for me. So unfortunately, I thought it was really modern, but as I was trying to style it, it was reading chef or pope, or, you know, like a priest. And that was just not really the look that I was going for. So yeah, the reality did not meet the expectation on that one, but it's a beautiful shirt and it's also a very expensive shirt. So that makes me sad too. I think what I'll try to do moving forward, even though I don't love that it's like such a small collar, but I'll maybe just try to wear it in a more traditional sense as like a button up. But yeah, that was a bit of a fail for me, unfortunately. For dresses, I don't buy a lot of dresses, so I have 4 items to share. However, one of them is kind of cheating because it's not a fully dress. So this is also from the brand ADN, the Parisian brand that I just talked about with the shirts. And the reason I say this is kind of cheating is this dress can be a shirt dress or it can be a shirt. And that is actually why I'm so obsessed with this ensemble, because first of all, the fabric, and again, the quality is fantastic. It's a linen, which I love. It doesn't look like it would be a linen. It is super, super thick fabric. I adore this fabric. And because of that, it's really breathable. So it's really great for the summer. As you know, if you've watched my videos, I struggle in the summer because I love like layers and volume. So this provides both of those without the temperature, without being too hot. And so I wore this dress so much as both a dress and a shirt. I wore it as a shirt with those barrel jeans, with my linen quince pants, which I also love so much, or I wore it as a short dress with just like those black sheer tights that I love from Amazon, and then little heels. And because even though it's a little bit shorter, it's so voluminous, you don't feel like you're overexposed or anything, because I dress like pretty modestly, I feel like, and I feel really comfortable wearing this even as a dress. And so this piece just has like all the versatility that I really look for in items. So even though this was again on the pricier side, I've just loved it so, so, so much. And I think it's really well designed and cool. And I love this front piece that it has that little extra detail that is just makes it a little extra special, I think. So the next best buy, sorry if I'm not specifying, that was a great buy. I feel like you can kind of tell by how I talk about it, but that was one of the best buys. This is another best buy from 2024, and this I've also talked about to death. This is the boiled wool dress from COS that is heavily inspired by the row. And again, even though this is a dress, I love the versatility of this. I love that you can wear it for daytime. You could style it with a flat pair of boots and a little polo shirt. I love adding like a contrasting shirt underneath of this to kind of bring a little pop of interest visually. Or I love that you can wear it at nighttime and make it seem more just like a full black dress by wearing just like a thin sort of black merino wool top underneath from COS. So I love it. This was such a great dress for when I traveled, again, because of its versatility. I could wear it during the day and then really switch up my look at night and have like a completely different look. So I loved it. I loved the material. I just love everything about this dress. And I'm so sorry because it sold out so quickly. So I feel bad every time I talk about it, but I'll try and find something similar. The most similar thing, unfortunately, is the $4,000 version from the row, but yeah, I'll do my best to try maybe find some other options for you all. Now let's get into the not so great purchases in terms of dresses. And I will start with this one, which this should be a big giveaway. If the tag is still attached and I bought this almost a year ago, that's usually not a great sign for me because it means that I never wore this. And so, yeah, I mean, hopefully this goes without saying, but I don't just like keep the tags on things and wear them and then return them. So yeah, I've had this dress quite a while. This is the dress from Odd Muse that became really viral and became super popular. And I love the silhouette. I love that it's inspired by Magna Bertram, that really, you know, hourglass exaggerated shape. I love the color. Obviously, I love gray. I think for me, this didn't align with my lifestyle like I wanted it to. It's very tight and form-fitting, which is not something I feel the most comfortable wearing on a regular basis. I'm just not used to it, and I just don't find it to be particularly comfortable anymore at this point in my life. So even though I think it's really flattering and really pretty, again, it's not something that I'm necessarily grabbing for because I find it's like a little more attention seeking than I'm wanting at this point in my 30s. and my 20s, I would have been like, I'm hot, I love it. But yeah, I don't know, it's just different now. And so I actually am considering, I'll let you know. I'm filming this the day before New Year's. I'll let you know if I wore it on New Year's. But yeah, I just don't have that many occasions where I want to be like so dressed up. And because it's a full dress that is tight as well, I find it a lot harder to dress down. Like even if you paired it with boots and stuff, like flat boots, I just don't. Yeah, it's just hard to get like different looks out of this particular dress. And I really need that versatility at this point in time. So I think that's why I haven't really worn it yet. But overall, it's a cool dress and it's a great aesthetic. But again, it just doesn't quite vibe with what I need out of my clothes at this point in my life. And then the final dress is actually not a dress, but it's a jumpsuit, which I think is quite similar. And this one I kind of like, not panic purchased, but I was going to Stockholm for an art fair and I had quite a few different events and stuff lined up. And I think I just wanted good options. And I ended up getting this on Zara because I have another Zara jumpsuit that I really, really love. It's very streamlined, it's beautiful, and it's black. So this one was kind of similar and I thought, oh, well, that's pretty. It's a beautiful silhouette and that's a gorgeous red color, of course, which it is. I didn't consider that like something like this is not probably something I'm going to wear during the day. I'm probably going to wear this more at like an event. And the fact that if I'm at an event, I usually have social anxiety and I usually want to dress a little more understated, especially for things that I don't really know what I'm getting into, aka dinners where like I don't know anyone and I'm having to talk to strangers, which is what I was doing in Stockholm. And so for that reason, I didn't want to wear this because when you don't, for me personally, again, when I don't know anyone or when I'm in an unknown situation, the last thing I want to do is be wearing like a bright red siren of an outfit where everyone's staring at you, because I dress up and a lot of people don't dress up anymore. And so I feel like people stare at me anyway, just because I'm just dressed up, let alone throwing a bright color on that. And so for that reason, I didn't quite think that one through. So I definitely think having more colorful, especially formal attire is not a good idea for me. So yeah. Now, before I get into the shoes and accessories and purses bits, And before this video becomes 3 hours long, I want to talk very quickly about jackets. So I have one jacket that is my best purchase of 2024 and then one that is my worst. And the best, ironically, they're from both costs. This one I think is one of my best purchases. This is a scarf jacket from COS in this beautiful charcoal gray pinstripe. I love that it's different. I didn't have any kind of charcoal gray coat in my closet. I definitely didn't have a scarf coat like that. I know it's very inspired by Totem, but I really love the casualness of this coat, but it's still interesting. I also love the dark color because I feel like I can still wear this as a nighttime coat. And I loved it so much, I actually got it in cream as well, although I find the cream to be a little more delicate, obviously because of the light color. So I really grab for this one more on a regular basis, and this has really been my go-to coat, frankly, for the year. I really, really love it. And I think it also looks really good with my little cropped COS trousers. Now, the one that is the worst purchase of the year is another one that I have yet to wear this year. And I think part of that might be when I bought it and like the seasonality, but I think the other thing is that with this silhouette, this is like a cape coat. It's hard to see here, so that's why I have the cutaways, but this is like a cape coat that I think looks really great with like my black flares or like a black trouser, like something that has more volume on the bottom to kind of balance out. But other than that, I find it very hard to style. It's not like an everyday coat that I can just throw over stuff because it's navy, first of all, and it also has these like black leather pockets. So it kind of has like a bit going on as well as the big architectural shape. So you don't really want to have anything that's too crazy underneath, which, and the other thing is like it's a cape, so it doesn't have sleeves. So it's wool and it's warm, but it can't be too cold outside. Like I almost wore it the other day, but then it was like 20 degrees outside. And I thought, well, my arms will be cold because all I had on was like a knit, top underneath. So that's a little bit challenging. So I guess I've just found this to be hard to style, harder to style than I thought it would be. Although I do think it's a really cool piece, but I think this needs to be it for the capes for me. I think I just had this romantic idea of capes, and I mention this every single time that I buy them, and yet I still buy them. So yeah, 2025, no capes for me. You heard it here first. All right, for this part, I'm gonna talk about jewelry quickly, and I'm gonna get nice and close, which is also gonna give me an opportunity to talk about this amazing new lip color from Beauty Pie. Which I just got. So if you're wondering what I'm wearing, it's called Unforgettable. And it's like their very minimal lipstick. It's more like a lip balm, but it has this beautiful tint to it. Also smells like cookies, which I love. And it comes in this cute little container. So anyway, just because you're this close to my face, I thought I would share the lip color that I'm wearing because I'm really enjoying it. Now, I just want to get into the jewelry purchases. There are a few really great ones and then a few that I kind of regret from this year. And none of this, again, is surprising. The pieces that I adore this year are the really classic minimal pieces that I can just put in, forget about. So these little solitaire lab-grown diamonds from Quince, I love. They have been such a staple for me. I definitely still want to get the little necklace that goes with them. Another purchase from Quince that's a classic that I adore are these little pearl studs. Again, I have full videos talking about all this, so I won't go into too much depth, but these are just things that I think are dainty, but not prissy at all. The pearl necklace is also gorgeous, comes in this matching, and really great price points. And these are just like great everyday pieces. I just need jewelry that I can't be bothered with. I mean, most of my jewelry is actually permanent in the sense that I never take it out because it's like a flat back and screwed in some way. But for these, I do like switching up my jewelry a little bit, but I also don't want to be like that bothered about it. So I love a very dainty stud. I feel like that's been my kind of big thing. I used to wear a lot more huggies, and for whatever reason this year, I've just really gone for the studs. So that's been my go-to. I would say the most like dramatic jewelry piece that I like this year are these studs from Agmes, which is a New York-based company that I really like. And they're just big enough to provide some visual interest, and I really love the organicness of them. But at the same time, they're not too large where they're like uncomfortable or they take away from the rest of the outfit. Because that leads me to my least favorite purchases. And I have worn these earrings from Heaven Mayhem one time. And a lot of my big, bold silver earrings, for example, I also got these from COS, where it like clips in and it's like a big, bold silver, like very similar kind of teardrop aesthetic. These are all inspired by the Big Bottega teardrop earrings from a couple years ago. But for me, I think it's too costumey, where I just wear such minimal kind of small stuff that it just doesn't feel like me when I put something like this in, even though I love the aesthetic of it, but I just need something simple and minimal that I can just go to on a regular basis and not have it detract from my outfit. So for that reason, and because of the lack of wear that I've gotten out of these, I would just so much rather spend money on a like smaller version, like not go so hard on the trend and get something like this from Agnes instead of something that's like so big. I definitely listened to a podcast and then I got influenced into buying these. So yeah, should have known better that I just like smaller, more wearable jewelry. So if I do see some kind of trend, I need to find like a more pared down version of it and not just buy that exact trend. So that's it for jewelry. Now let's get into handbags and shoes. I was first gonna say that I didn't buy a lot of new handbags this year, but I did. So there are two brands that I really leaned into their bags because I was really curious about them. So number one, that is Savette, which again, I have a whole video about, which I go into detail about why I love them, but I adore my Savette bags. I will definitely be buying things from this brand in the future. I just think they're so gorgeous and minimal. I'm definitely loving a more minimal bag like this as opposed to something with a little more hardware, even though obviously this does have a little bit of hardware on it. But I will talk more about kind of what I'm looking for in the future in my wish list video, which will be coming out soon. But yeah, I really, really love all of my purchases from Savette. They're some of my best purchases from 2025, as well as the new Heda bags that I added to my collection. This is the midi bag, so the middle-sized bag, and it's equivalent to, I believe, like a Kelly 25. I think it is 25 centimeters across. So bigger sized. I love the burgundy color. I wear this one so much, especially because it is larger. I can fit like a pair of shoes and like other things in here, which is great. And then I also added a lighter colored mini Heda bag, which I absolutely love. My black mini Heda bag is probably my most worn bag of all time. And then on the flip side, my worst bag purchase for this year was actually, ironically, the Heda Grande. So this is the largest sized Heda bag. And I was drawn to purchase this because, I don't know, I think in my mind I was like, oh, I can put like my iPad in there. And even though it's not, it would almost be better if it was like even bigger to fit. Unfortunately, I have a laptop, or not unfortunately, I'm very blessed, but I have a MacBook Pro 16-inch and it's definitely not going to fit in here. It does fit, I think, the 13-inch MacBook Pro Air or something. So if you have a smaller MacBook, this might work for you as like a work bag, but it just wasn't quite big enough to fit like stuff for work other than like an iPad. And it's just too large for me because it's quite heavy because it's really well made and it's got a lot of leather in it. But it also just taught me that I feel like any bag that kind of falls into the 32 centimeter category, which is a really valuable lesson to have. I'd much rather buy a bag like this. I mean, this bag was still expensive, but I'd rather spend $400 knowing that size 32 centimeters is too big for me than spend $10,000 on a Kelly 32 and then find out that I never wear it. So I think this was a valuable lesson. But I mean, obviously I'm still going to keep it. I just don't I grabbed for this one not nearly as much as my other bags. I did bring this on my trip to Stockholm and I wore it the whole time, mostly because I had to because I was like out and about the whole day and I needed like a bunch of stuff in it, and I didn't bring any backups, and I also didn't own this one at that point in time. In fact, I might even enjoy this bag in black because I think it's such a great size. But yeah, I think the Grande and the size 32-inch across the bottom is just too large for me. I'm not a large bag person at the end of the day, I have found, because I really just want to be able to hold it. And when it gets to a certain heaviness, I just don't want to carry it at all. And that kind of defeats the purpose. So, okay, we have made it to the final stretch. I'm going to end on shoes. So my best and worst shoe purchases for 2024. And I'm going to start on the positive note with my most worn and my best purchase from 2024. And that is the Birkenstock. Specifically the Boston Clog in suede. I love this shoe. I wear this shoe all the time, everywhere. This is my favorite shoe. In fact, it's, I need to like I bought the Birkenstock like care kit. I need to kind of fix the cork on the back because I wear it so much. But actually I wear them equally, both the black and the taupe. I tend to wear, as you would expect, the black in the fall and winter, and then I wear the taupe version all summer and spring. I adore the fact that it's closed-toed, it's very easy to walk in, it's got incredible arch support, it's super comfortable. So yeah, these might not be the most fashionable shoes, but these are my favorite shoes ever, and I love them. So yeah, might be the most controversial take of this whole video. But I adore my Birkenstocks. On the flip side, I think my worst purchase, and they're in storage actually right now, so I can't show them to you, but the Arizona all black sandals that I got from Birkenstock. I got the all leather, so like the $200 like leather base, leather straps. I would say they're one of my worst purchases because I didn't break them in at all because they were a little uncomfortable, and when I'd wear them I would get blisters on my foot, and I just didn't want to put in the effort to really break them in. And as I mentioned in the video, they make some lovely farting sounds when you wear them, and that wasn't really going away. So while I love the aesthetic of them, I think I would have much rather had or have the Arizona sandal, again in the black suede. I think the suede is really the way to go with this, so you might see some suede Arizona sandals on my wish list for 2025. But the all leather was, I think, a better idea than it was in reality. So yeah, my next probably most worn shoe of 2024 and best purchase was a little bit of a wild card, and that is this mesh flat from Jeffrey Campbell, and OMG, it's a little Mary Jane. I bought these because the mesh Mary Jane, obviously the Row and a few others made this quite popular over the last year. And I really just wanted to try out a less expensive version before investing in a more expensive mesh version. And OMG, these are so comfortable. I've worn these so freaking much all the time. I just adore a mesh shoe. Like, who would have thought? I love the fact that they take a traditional style like the Mary Jane and then add some modernness to it with the mesh. I wore these all spring and summer and into the fall a little bit. I wore these to work a ton. I wore them freaking everywhere because they're so comfortable. In fact, I even purchased a version that was way more expensive. They were like $400. They were so uncomfortable that I returned them. And yeah, these have just been a really great staple. Similarly, with that look, these little leather Mary Jane flats from Zara are another great go-to. I love that I can just like tuck the strap in if I want and have them just be like a flat leather shoe. I love that they're 100% leather so that they've worn really well. The only bad thing about these shoes is they don't have a lot of arch support, but that's actually one of the great things about them is that they pack really, really flat and they're very lightweight. So these are great shoes. I always pack these when I'm traveling because they're just such a great like backup shoe if you run out of shoes or you just need like a simple black flat. They also fit really well into purses. So if I need kind of like an emergency backup pair, these shoes have been a godsend. So even though they're not the best for like walking really long distances around New York City, still did it. It was fine. But yeah, I really, really love these shoes. And then kind of on the similar note, I have, these are all like the same silhouette, which should tell me something, but I have these suede shoes from Massimo Dutti that I absolutely adore. And I've worn these a ton. Actually, for how much I've worn these and the fact that they're a light suede, I think they're still in really good shape. But I just think these shoes look like they could be the row. They look so expensive. They were not cheap. They were, I think, $200 because they are 100% real suede and leather. But I think they're gorgeous. I think they have such a cool modern aesthetic, almost like a very apocalyptic look. And similar to the black Zara flats, they go really flat. So again, they don't have a ton of arch support, but they're very easy to pack as like a nice backup shoe. And I think they look so good with my little taupe Savette bag as well as my taupe cashmere sweater. So these have been a really great staple for me. Now, those are my best. Oh, one more best is actually a brand new one, which I have a whole video about, so I won't get too into detail on this, but these boots, again, I've worn so freaking much, just like the barrel jeans from Mango. And I think it's because they do have a little more arch support than my ones from the row, but I think also because it's winter, the fact that they're fully leather is great. So I actually am kind of incentivized to want to try the full leather versions from the row now because I have just worn these so much. They are so cool looking. They style so well with so many things. So yeah, this was like a little bit of a underdog for the year. Came in the final hour. And I'm gonna end with 3 shoes that were my worst purchases of 2024. So I'm gonna start with this one. This is one of those where I just knew, I should have known right when I opened the box that I needed to return them because they were not the correct color. Online, they looked more ivory, and honestly, they're picking up a little more ivory with the exposure in this video, but I wanted them to be, yeah, more of like a light ivory, and they're just a very butter yellow almost. So they're too yellow for me. They look like a church shoe kind of, and they're comfortable and I can walk well in them, but they weren't the right color. And I should have known that and I should have just returned them, but instead I kept them, which was a mistake. And now they're taking up room in my closet and I've never worn them outside. So that was not good. Similarly, I love these shoes. Again, these are like little mesh shoes I bought on sale from Zara. And I think I haven't worn these out and about as much because they're white. I think I'm afraid of them getting dirty, which I don't know why, because shoes are meant to be worn. But yeah, I haven't worn these as much as, I also just think white shoes are kind of hard to style in general compared to a black shoe. Like, it's not like you're gonna throw on a white shoe with just everything in your wardrobe, especially for someone that wears a lot of black and gray. So yeah, I think that's a hard color for me. And while it does look cool, like I think the coolest outfit with these shoes is like a pair of, you know, black trousers and a white button up, but there aren't that many iterations of that outfit that you can wear. So I'm going to end this video, again, before it gets too long, even though I have a feeling that it's quite long at this point, with a shoe that's going to be a little controversial. You might be able to guess what's in here. Again, I did a full unboxing of these, but another least favorite, which really hurts because these were expensive, are the Hermes Oran sandal. Again, gorgeous shoe. The one downside about these shoes is I have not found them to be that comfortable. Again, I know they're 100% leather, so I will probably need to break them in more thoroughly, but the 2 times that I have worn them, they have left me with rub marks where all the little sweet H details are, so that wasn't super fun. People tell me they're comfortable. Maybe my foot is too fat for them. Maybe I just need to wear them more, but at the end of the day, I just need a slide to be more comfortable. The other thing that I probably should have known about this is I don't wear open-toed shoes a lot in New York. In fact, I would never really wear slides around New York City just because A, they're hard to walk in, and B, you can step in all kinds of goodness and have dirt and all the goodies get on your foot. And so I definitely prefer to have a more closed-toed shoe option around the city. So if I'm going to be wearing a sandal, it's going to be when I'm on vacation or visiting some kind of tropical destination. And if I'm lucky, I only do that about once a year. So to buy shoes, I mean, I'll have these for life. Obviously, they're an investment piece, but to have this expensive of a pair of shoes that I'm only really wearing once a year, probably could have spent my money better. Honestly, I almost wish I would have rather just bought a black and silver Kelly belt. I would have worn that so much more than these like beachy sandals, or honestly even a different Hermes shoe like the Oz Mule or the loafer. I think I would have worn that a lot more than these, just because again, I don't wear sandals that much. So yeah. So overall, I mean, I think I did pretty well this year. I know it might look like a lot of regrets, but given how much I shop, I really, really do think I'm getting much better about being honest with myself. And again, having these reviews is just so helpful with that. So I think I'll be even better next year. I have a good feeling. I also think making really like thoughtful purchasing decisions by mapping out what it is that I want this year will be really important too. So I will have some videos coming up where I cover my wish lists for 2025. I also have wish list videos from previous years if you want to see kind of what I wanted in the past and check out if I purchased it or if I didn't and that kind of thing. It's always kind of fun to go back and see if I like still want the things that I thought I wanted. But yeah, I hope you all are having a great start to 2025 and I will see you in my next video.